Peace. What's up? It's the game room.
What's happening?
Hey guys.
Hello, everybody.
I'm player 1.
Domo
Riz.
Player 3.
I'll be player 2.
You want to be player 2?
I'm player 4.
How you guys
That's
doing?
Good, man.
Good, bro.
Doing good, Riz.
I like that headband.
You like it?
Yeah, it takes me back to Street Fighter days.
Yeah. Ryu.
Yeah.
That was my guy.
That was your guy?
That was my guy.
It's everyone's guy.
Yeah, it was everybody.
What's-
It's pretty much whoever got to Ryu first.
Or Blanca.
Or
He looked
Blanca.
cool.
Blanca was cool and Chun-Li.
How's that coffee?
It's hitting the spot right now.
Oh,
I know it's like 9 p.m. right now and I'm drinking coffee.
It's later than that. And
Yeah.
you know, Burger King has fire coffee, dude.
Oh, speaking of Burger King,
Oh no.
didn't you do a Burger
Didn't
King
I do
commercial?
it?
Oh, we ambushed him. He didn't want to talk. Yeah, we got you. We got you. We got to
So
hear about
commercial?
that, bro.
Yeah,
We have
let's
to.
talk about that.
You want to talk
Burger
about the
King
Ghost Whopper?
The Ghost
Ghost
Whopper. That's what it was
Whopper.
called.
I've
That's what it was
never
called.
met
You did it during
anyone in a
Halloween.
commercial.
It's a Halloween Burger King commercial, wasn't
Yeah.
For the
I
people
remember
who
that.
don't know,
Yeah.
Riz starred in the Halloween, right?
Yeah,
The Halloween version of the Whopper, which is the Ghost Whopper.
the Ghost Whopper.
So, of course, they asked a psychic medium.
I know. Can I tell you the story? I'll tell it real quick.
Yeah, like how'd they approach you and stuff?
So it was weird because, I don't like to do things like that, like commercials and things. I've been asked over the years. So, I've been doing my psychic mediumship work for 13 years in LA,
Wow.
and
13.
it's a very serious subject for me. So I've stayed away from doing a lot of shows, though that's kind of now happening. But I got a DM on Instagram, and I don't even look at my DMs, but that day I got a DM that I read. And it said, I don't know you. I've been to your circles, but I'm an actor. And my agent asked me if I knew any psychics. And there's a commercial that's looking for a psychic trance channel. And I was like, thank you, but no thanks. I don't do that kind of stuff. Got a Facebook message from somebody else. I said the same thing. Another actor client of mine. I just said no from the get-go. Then a third person. And I said, what is this Burger King commercial? They're like, no, they're looking for a trans channel. I said, I don't do those kinds of commercials. My work is serious. I'm a very spiritual and sacred shaman. I cannot do fast food commercials. I'll eat fast food, but I can't do commercials. Apparently, I don't mind when my clients see me at the drive-thru, but apparently I mind when they see me doing a commercial for it. So anyway, then a fourth person texts me.
Wow.
4 times the charm.
Exactly. So the person who texted me was someone I randomly ran into at a foot massage place.
As you do.
Oh my
As
God.
you do, right? You go for your Chinese foot massage for $30. So I go
It's the
in.
best.
I'm going into the foot massage place. This is like 3 months before the commercial. And a woman stops me and goes, hey, Riz, which happens because people have been in my circle.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, hi, and didn't recognize who she was, but she said, I used to come to your circle a lot, and I've been thinking about coming again. This is my name. And could I get your number so when I can come, I can RSVP? So I said, all right. She texts me. She's a commercial producer. And she knew the people producing the next Burger King commercial for Halloween. And she says, they asked her, do you know Riz Mirza? I said, wait, they asked if you know me?
Sounds like a setup.
Yeah, I didn't know. I thought I was getting punked. Honestly, I was like, somebody's really trying to punk me left and right with all these direct messages. I did. I thought that. But she's legit, right? She does these really big commercials. And she said, look, I wouldn't even approach you because I know you're very serious about your psychic work, and I would never approach you unless I thought they were going to respect what you do. And they do. And I was like, how much do they respect what I do?
That's the real question.
Ultimate respect.
And let me tell you, I got a lot of respect for that. But what happened was I said, okay, tell me about it. They said it's called the Ghost Whopper. They want a psychic medium trance channel. I said, why don't they just get an actor? What do they need a real trans channel for?
Yeah, because that's what I think all commercials are. I don't think of commercials as these are
Commercials
real,
are-
authentic
Right.
Commercials are
people
changing
doing
nowadays.
this.
They want more authentic, more real life. Like if
You're
it's a family
right.
Commercial.
Yeah.
They
So-
want a real family.
Right, so they're
Right.
using
Commercial.
real families, real doctors, a real drummer or whatever if it's a band. So
Blows my mind.
it blew my mind.
The game's changing.
I'm like, I'm trying to get out of this commercial left and right. And then, so what happened was they were auditioning
Something's
a lot
not
of,
letting you, huh?
Something was not, the universe was not letting me. So they were auditioning like dozens and like close to 100. They had been on casting for weeks.
Wow.
I'm like, you can just type in Trans Channel LA and my name will come up. but apparently they didn't do it.
Mm.
So some of the other psychic mediums were saying, you need Riz Mirza for this.
Really?
Yeah. That's how they knew the name and then asked other producers, do you know this guy?
Wow.
So she did, because she's a fan of foot massages. See what happens if you go for
I'm a fan of foot massages
Yeah, exactly.
too, man. I ain't getting no check.
But if you get 10, the 11th one is free.
Oh, that's true.
Yes.
Yes.
I do got my stamp card.
Right, you got that SIM card, right? So anyway, I got to take a minute to talk about this story. I can't make it quick.
For sure.
That's what
All
we
right,
brought it
Break
up.
it
we're
down.
here,
That's why we
right?
brought it up.
Well, that's what we do in the game. We
I didn't
break
know
it
they had
down.
to go through. I didn't even know that they had to go through other psychic mediums and trance channels to get like. Even then, it's like all arrows are pointing to you. Like there's something going on with that. Like that's
Right.
not an accident.
Right. So what happened was, what they wanted was the medium to do channeling, the channel to do channeling on a spot and channel the spirit guide, and they also wanted them to do readings, like off the cuff,
Hold up.
for like 20, 25 people, you know, and so it was legit. They really wanted to test
In front
psychic.
on
Yeah.
set, in front of
set.
everybody.
in front of everyone.
Did they have everything arranged already, or was it just
They
a
were
regular-
casting like they wouldn't
Okay.
tell the people what the shoot was about.
Cool. That's
They
awesome.
just they made up stuff. I'll tell you what they told them. Anyway, so they were getting groups of people and they were going to do it in a haunted hotel. I said, send the script. So it was for the Ghost Whopper. The Ghost Whopper, basically it's like a Whopper with white bun.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, no ghost
That's
peppers.
the new Ghost Whopper,
no one,
right?
No one said,
Oh,
how about
ghost
ghost peppers?
peppers.
Yeah.
There's no ghost
Oh.
peppers.
That would have been cool.
Right?
Yeah.
So no ghost peppers. Anyway, so the script was funny. Basically, it was going to be in this haunted hotel in downtown LA, which it was an actual haunted, legitimate, historical haunted spot in LA. And the gist was it's going to be called the Spirit Taste Test. So they wanted to know if a spirit guide will
Eat
give
a
their
Whopper.
eat a Whopper, and then give their opinion on it. I'm going, how is
Yeah.
everybody going to... No, spirit guides do not taste Whoppers. They're like, yeah, but, can you have fun with it?
Did you get
I was
to
like-
meet the guy that like wrote this script?
Yeah, I was thinking, I want to be in the boardroom when they're thinking of it, like
You wanna know what's
this
funny?
without you in the room, like
The agency
What about
was
a
from
Ghost Whopper
Spain.
with ghosts.
really.
Oh wow.
The agency was from Spain,
Wow.
like based in Miami.
Mm.
And there was all these like Spaniards on the set, very stylish
Caliente.
Spaniards, with the, España, with that, they speak
Mhm.
with the TH
it's
sound.
a very
Yes.
classy way of speaking.
I love Spain, right? So they were there, and Ryan and I went down there. But I can't go to like when I actually said yes, because that's what's interesting. I said, so when is it shooting? She goes, tomorrow. I said, don't commercials cost like hundreds of thousands of dollars? She said, yes, this costs even more than that. And I said, well,
What?
isn't everybody going to the set tomorrow? You don't have someone? She goes, no, we don't have anyone. She's like, everybody's saying it's you. You're the one who has to do it.
What?
I had clients all booked.
I never heard of that.
Yes.
Yeah, same
I was like, the universe wanted me to know I was special
here. Aw, that's great.
because I had been very sad about that.
And what was your first job?
How do you remember that? Burger King.
Because this is the part of the story that
Yeah.
gets
How do you
me every
remember that?
time. I'm like, so am I gonna get a call from like Papa John's one day? Like, yo, man, we need
We
you to
need
come
you.
to test this new pizza. It's
Remember
the
when you
Egyptian
made
pizza,
$3.25 an hour?
the
Sharif is
sand
about
pizza.
that
You
money,
gotta
yo.
do it.
Sharif is about that money.
That is
an
very-
Egyptian
Yo,
pizza.
get at me, yo, get at me.
I ain't
We
mad
got to
at you,
get
bro.
the
I ain't
original
mad at you.
Calabasas Egyptian.
Okay, so they hit you up the day before. This is your first job ever was Burger King. They have no one set up. All right,
Right.
go.
I made it
set me
from
up
the
there.
Bronx to the Boo.
The
Malibu. I made
Yo,
it from the
put
Bronx.
that on a shirt.
I was going to put that on my book that's coming out next year, From the Bronx, like the story of a medium, from the Bronx to the Boo.
Is after the
Anyway.
9 Keys book releases this
The
year.
9 Keys is out.
9
I
Keys
got
is
mine.
out.
out.
I got
You
my
Go get a
copy.
copy.
Thank you. 9 Keys on Amazon. So, anyway, I'm just getting a kick out of looking at this script, and the spirit supposed to taste a bite of the burger after I give real readings. I'm like, how are they going to do this? The execution of this has to be top notch, and it was. So I decided have a sense of humor about what it is that I do, have some fun, poke fun at myself, poke fun at, and I love Halloween.
Yeah.
We got to do a Halloween episode.
That's
Definitely.
mandatory.
So I'm really into Halloween. It's my favorite day of the year. Of
all of
course,
our-
I'm
I
a
think it's
medium.
all
It
of our
should be.
favorites, right?
And it's
So
the
yours
Halloween
What is
Whopper.
that?
It's the Halloween Whopper, and you get to say in life that, hey, I was in a really big Burger King commercial for something really fun. It wasn't just a regular commercial.
Mm-hmm.
They were gonna make it spooky and
Completely
all that.
on brand for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was like uniquely customized to everything that you were about in a way.
Everything that I was about. My first job was Burger King. This was I get to channel. I get to have fun. I get to laugh. I get to freak people out.
Yeah, that's
know?
like number one, right?
Number one. Number one. And the thing that I always taught with what I do is that you can be anything you want to be. We're living in an age where you could be a heart surgeon and an opera singer and own a cupcake shop and be a Pilates
So
trainer.
true.
at
Shout
the
out to
same
my
time.
doctor.
That's your doctor?
I'm just
Okay.
kidding, he's not.
So you can do all of those things, and that's been my message, and that's what life is about. Now you can be anything that you want to be. You don't have to be one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Yes, sir.
Right? You know, you want extra cheese? So you can have it. All right. So I say yes. Because they really respected what I do. So
Yes, respect, very important.
exactly.
RESPECT, find out what it means to me.
Exactly.
Mm.
So now for the hard question before you finish, was the Whopper good though?
Yeah, I love
was
Whoppers.
good?
It was damn good.
Oh, I gotta try it.
So okay, it's over now.
It's-
but
it's
it's
over.
gonna be
No,
back
It was
for
like
part-
in 3
next year.
locations, dude. Come
Yeah.
on.
It was at it was like the 10 cities or something, but it was
Yeah.
cool. So I said yes, and I go down to the set, and it's beautiful set, hair, makeup, everything. And the director comes over to me, and he's like, "Want to be really?" They were being really respectful. They said, "Okay, is this possible? Like, how are you going to approach me?" Like from his perspective, he's this like really serious medium guy. Whether he believes in it or not, I mean, I don't care, right? You do this kind of work, you're up for target practice. I don't care.
Either way.
Please, I'm from the Bronx. I don't give a shit what anybody thinks about what I do. Just get out of my face, right? So I'm sitting there, and he comes over, and he says, you know, like, will the spirits? I'm like, am I still being punked? is he being, he's like, has nothing to do with that kind of world. And he's like,
right.
we're going to put an earpiece in your ear. I'm like, everybody's going to see that earpiece. No, their technology is unbelievable. So they had the room set up, the haunted ballroom of the hotel. And these people were thinking that they were there for like some sort of people who have interesting jobs. So they were prepping these people like, okay, you're going to meet a bunch of people today. They cast them off of some casting site. And there's going to be this kind of person, that kind of person, and a trends channel. And, you know, they slid it in there.
Yeah.
There may be some product placements, might be some this, might be that, might be some Whoppers. We don't know.
The fine print.
Yeah. So you're going to meet different people today. They only met me. Here's the first person. So I'm set up in this ballroom. They made it gothic. They put candelabras. They lit it. It looked like
Looked
was.
incredible.
I was like, got to be the male Elvira for the day. Right? And so I'm there. I'm at this-
Elvira.
yeah. The Indian Elvira. So I'm sitting at the seance table. They made a seance table. It was hilarious. And he's in the earpiece talking to me. Director's in another room. The cameramen are in the dark. There's 2 cameramen in there in the shadows. People knew that it was being filmed,
Yeah.
but they knew nothing else. And the director is speaking to me. I can hear him as clearly as you're listening to me right now, and no
Wow.
one in the room could hear him. That was trippy.
Wow.
But I'm used to voices in my head. So, right? so we go, we start, and he's like, okay, they're all going to come in. And this is what you hear. All right, just get a very serious look on your face. So I'm like, get a serious look on my face. Yeah, this is how he's talking. Okay, ask them, what is it? Do they believe in spirits? You know. So I'm like, so do you believe in spirits? So everything, I gotta say, I aced it, right? I didn't break it all because there were points where I thought I was just gonna start laughing. But they wanted me to go into trance and actually give readings, so I did. Before each of them, like it got edited down to just the funny parts, where I was just like having fun and doing voices.
I'm
You
sure
know,
there's a lot of footage.
of course, you know, the spirit's not actually throwing the burger across. That's me, you know, just trying to do that voice.
Yeah.
But before that, I really gave readings, and a couple of people were crying, like they do at mediumship readings. You tell them the name of a loved one that passed away. You know, they're not prepared for that.
That's groundbreaking. You're like a pioneer. Is that must be the first time that's happened, right?
For
I don't,
sure.
I don't,
That
I don't
we know
recall.
of.
Yeah, that we know of,
Yeah.
right? Since I thought
There's
commercials
never
were all
been
fake.
a psychic medium. There's never been a trance channel on any national or global commercial ever.
You're the first.
ever.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I was the
You
first. I
won
broke
the
that ground,
Guinness
and
World
I'm very
Record
proud
book.
of that because it's going to
Yeah.
be, there are mediums on television. Wait till you start to see trans channels on television. Well, here we are on YouTube, so here we
Right.
are.
Meaning it'll be mainstream.
Of
soon.
course,
Everyone
it'll
will
be
know.
mainstream. We
Yeah.
all want something new and different and stuff to look at, right?
Yeah.
It's just human nature.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I did it. And so they had people who believed in mediums, people who were on the fence, and people who just thought mediums were assholes. So
You gotta have the
Good
skeptic
balance,
though.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
what-
can't just be everyone all.
it's
you
all
know.
good, baby,
Yeah.
But I affected the ones who thought it was that they were
That was
assholes. There was
fun.
They thought
one
it was
guy. Yeah, there was
bullshit.
one guy.
Yeah.
I gave him a reading. He did not. He did everything he could to not cry. His face turned Ghost Whopper pale. Okay.
Wow.
In the middle of giving the readings. All right. Tell them that you're very hungry and you must have, the spirits must have food. And there's a pause in your mind, like, is this my life? What am I doing?
Right.
Is this really where I landed?
You just
Mom.
start rethinking everything.
Yeah, I'm rethinking my entire life at that moment. I heard somebody whisper in my ear,
Oh my god.
tell them that the spirits need to eat. So in the middle of the very serious moment, I literally just had given this woman a reading about her mother who passed away. That's when he said, demand for something to eat. And in the middle of it, this person walks. You see it in the commercial.
Yes.
A Burger King employee walks into the Gothic ballroom without saying a word and places the burger in front of me, says nothing, and turns and walks out.
She did a good job.
Tell the spirit to taste the burger. Pause again about your life. Anyway, it all happened, and the commercial it went fairly viral. It didn't blow up to millions of views, but it got a lot of views really fast. And the next morning I woke up and I saw it was launching. Like, I just went to Google and just typed my name in Ghost Whopper. It is so weird to see your name in all these news outlets talking about you. Self-proclaimed medium. And some people were like, awesome psychic medium. Like, some of them were like really into what I did.
That's cool.
And some were like self-proclaimed or he claims to. I don't care.
Wow.
Spell my name right.
I mean, it's the time for it, isn't it? I mean, we used to be
Respect
going
my
back from
name.
like, right? Put some respect
Put some
on
respect on it.
Yeah.
But that's like the new standard. That like we used to always be talking like, make fun of those people like, oh, I'm on a juice cleanse right now. Namaste, this, that. You know what I mean? And now it's kind of become like
Dang,
acceptable.
he just ripped me on national.
It's true,
Like people
though.
who drink green juice and wear like
Hey, I'm sorry.
long hair and
Leather
like
jacket.
shaman
Hey.
jackets and shit.
But before I
Yeah.
was woke, this is
Those people.
pre-woke, pre-woke. That's what I was on though,
Yeah.
It's like it wasn't for me. It just wasn't in like my everyday. Now it's like it doesn't matter
Of
if you're like
course.
a truck driver. You know what I mean? You
He's
know
burning
to stop
sage.
by. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, like the truck
Yeah.
drivers.
And
burning
eventually you'll
sage.
get there and be like, there's more than just burning this piece of sage.
Yeah, just
And
rolling Palo
you
Santo.
Which I love, by the way.
I love Palo Santo. It just never stays lit.
True.
You're trying to puff it and it's like nothing happening.
That's true. Yeah, you can't change it.
Oh,
Because I had a demon in my lungs.
It's a demon.
You gotta cleanse the lungs, man.
What do you do?
Wild.
Has anyone ever come up to you and be like, "There's a demon inside of me. I need
Yes,
you to get
of course
rid of"?
they have. You don't know my DMs, man. You don't know. I have like
man.
my assistant. Like
We're gonna
I
have
don't
to
even
bring
check
some
my
on one
DMs
of these
anymore.
days.
Wow.
People write all sorts of stuff.
Can you give me one crazy one that kind of just sticks out in your mind?
One that's like, yeah. Exactly.
I'm not going to tell you the sad ones because they're just super sad. Because there's people who are very, very sad can write to you.
yeah, just
Yeah,
something wild,
absolutely.
outlandish.
Well, there's people who will claim or say or swear that they've been having sex with spirits.
Whoa!
How?
Like air.
Please
Air
elaborate.
sex?
I'm not saying
they'll tell
spirits
me
aren't
that.
real, but
They'll
like,
say that, and one has said I've married one.
Whoa.
I'm like, well, I don't do like annulments. I mean, I didn't know. So they will literally say that.
Wow.
And then they'll ask for, how do I stop doing this? Or what do I say to him or her?
Oh my gosh!
I forward those to a special folder.
I try not to laugh right there.
I mean,
I really did.
Special.
Wow.
I'm not even saying it's not real. I'm
Right.
just saying, I gotta like draw the line of what I want to work with right now.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So people do that.
It's
Mm.
still very.
But can I tell you something about the
passionate
crystals?
about
Now
it.
I'm seeing crystals everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Like, but meaning like in people have them in catalogs. People have them in stores that you would never think crystals would be there.
Yeah.
They're like at the counter. Here's an
Yeah,
amethyst
it's gonna
crystal.
come in a Happy Meal before you know it.
Oh,
The kids are gonna be like, "Oh, I wanted lapis lazuli."
trade you my amethyst for your smoky quartz.
That's funny.
Oh,
Isn't that
man.
amazing?
Yeah.
I used to love those fast food toys, though, man.
Oh.
They used to get me, bro.
That's why the only reason we'd go.
Right?
We'd be like, we're hungry.
Did Burger
And then
King
we
ever
wouldn't
have
eat
toys?
anything.
Just
Yeah,
ate.
Burger King had
toys?
toys. Which
Yeah.
toys did they have?
They had a lot. Some of the Disney
You know,
movies.
what
Wait, they had
one I
Star
remember-
Wars.
No. Yeah, they did.
I think
but
that was McDonald's.
They had
No. Burger King had Star Wars because you know in my house I have those cups.
the cups.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. They had the Wild Wild West.
Oh, bro.
Bro,
Yo.
remember those shades?
I appreciate that, bro.
Oh my god,
That brought me back.
I'll never forget that Burger King Happy
Yo.
Meal.
That brought
See,
me
Burger
back.
King is badass. That's
It
the
was,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, they go in.
McDonald's is very like corporate, like
Yo, I used to wear those shades.
all American.
Yeah.
Burger King is like, nah, like
They're with the
they-
people.
yeah, they're with the people.
Yeah.
BK's not going out. So can I tell you something?
Yeah.
So I was on the doing the drive-through at Burger King, and over on Canaan, and I thought maybe like the person would recognize me.
Oh god.
Don't tell me.
There was a part of me that wished that,
That'd be dope.
but no, she didn't recognize me.
I was gonna
I
say
even
she
turned.
did.
I was like this.
You order a
and I was
Ghost Whopper?
like- I was like, "Do you have the Ghost
The
Whopper?"
Ghost Whopper?
And I froze like, and she did not.
like pose.
More than I usually do.
She didn't
Apparently,
get it right.
it didn't work.
Ghost Whopper.
Ghost Whopper.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
But she was like, no. She was like, $11.85. I'm out.
Yeah, McDonald's has better fries, but Burger King, better meat hands down. The chicken sandwich?
Oh man.
The original.
That
The OG
BK.
chicken
The OG.
sandwich.
That beat on the
OG.
long bun.
Yeah, on the long
the
bun.
hot
Oh,
dog
I haven't
buns
had that.
thing,
The
whatever.
long
Bro.
You never had that?
So what do you think about them putting Beyond Meat in there?
Honestly, I think it's excellent
cool.
because the
You tried it?
idea,
It's cool.
no, I didn't try it. The only
Never
reason why
tried that
I won't only because of the amount of hormones they found in it. You know what I mean? Like it's got
What?
probably like I don't know the exact X amount.
In the Beyond
more-
Meat, they found
yeah,
hormones?
it's
Really?
it's like estrogen or whatever.
Oh,
There's
because
hormones.
it's plant-based. A lot
Yeah,
of those plants are sprayed also.
exactly.
They're not
so
using
there's
organic
like
plants, are they?
there's like
No,
50
not Beyond
times
Meat.
Oh, are you
whatever,
kidding?
and I just love the idea that because I think that everyone should be able to have that option, especially
think so.
nowadays.
Yes,
you know what I
sure.
mean? Because
Yes.
I don't eat meat every day. I like to go light some days, you know. But yeah, I just think the idea of it is more important because that's groundbreaking. You can
Would you eat a kale burger?
yes.
Let me
tasted
describe
good.
it to you.
That sounds
Oh,
The
great.
okay.
bun is 2 pieces of kale. The
Okay.
meat is 1 piece of kale. The cheese is another piece of kale. And the lettuce and tomato are also kale. How's it sound?
Lettuce
Would you eat
is
it?
kale.
Yeah.
Kale lettuce.
Basically, it's 6 sheets of kale
Someone
in a
would
piece
eat
of
that.
paper.
I don't know about all
Someone's
that.
eating
No?
that
Yeah,
right now.
for sure.
You're a
Someone's
punk
eating that
then.
right now.
I'm a hypocrite. I've been known to dabble in hypocrisy and philosophy of such things.
Hip-hoperacy.
Oh, like hip hop opera, hypocrisy.
He just took it to another level.
I will go see a hip
like
opera. A hip opera.
Hip-hopera.
Trademark, don't y'all think? You know
Edit
what-
that out now.
Are you right? Edit that out. Who would you want to see in a hip opera? If you had to pick some of your favorite rappers, doesn't matter what time period, singing opera style.
Singing?
He's not
Opera.
He's not a
I'm
rapper.
talking about
No.
a hip opera.
Well, isn't kind of Hamilton kind of an opera in a sense that it tells a story?
Hamilton. Is that Shakespeare?
No.
No, Hamilton, the Broadway show.
Oh, that's Hamlet. What's Hamilton?
Hamilton is a Broadway show that has been like the
Lin
talk of the
Manuel
word.
Miranda.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it
I'm
either.
out the loop. I
You never heard of
apologize.
I
Hamilton?
don't think so.
How dare you?
Maybe I have it. I'm just not
Hamilton.
recognizing it.
I've heard of it. I never saw it though.
Even our producer engineer is over here
He's like,
like, he's like, what?
Hamilton.
We're about to get kicked out.
Hamilton is a phenom. It doesn't matter that you don't know Broadway shows.
Uh-huh.
Hamilton is a huge show. It's about Alexander Hamilton. And tell me his name properly.
Lin Manuel Miranda, I think.
Lin-Manuel
Probably
Miranda,
wrong.
who is a playwright from New York. I think he wrote The Heights, which is turned into a movie now.
Mm.
Anyway, he did a hip-hop Broadway show. It's all rap.
Whoa.
And there's some singing in it too, I think, about Alexander Hamilton.
Who's
I don't know
Alexander
why.
Hamilton?
He was a president, right?
Second president or something? No,
No.
that's John Adams.
No.
John Adams was
I don't
president.
know.
I was like, damn, that's
I
a
don't know what
long
I'm talking
time
about.
ago.
Anyway, I think he was one of the presidents. Yeah, of course he was. He's on the $20 bill. Isn't that him?
No, that's Andrew Jackson.
That's Andrew. I know my money.
Alexander
Don't
Hamilton,
play
is
my
he on the
money.
$2 bill?
Oh,
Maybe that's
no.
where you got
Andrew
number
Jackson's
2
a
from.
20. That might be him on the 2.
Who's the guy on the $2 bill? He gets
Benjamin
credit.
Franklin?
That's Snoop Dogg.
Oh man.
That's a tizzle, my nizzle.
Yeah. I tipped the guy with a $2 bill, the valet guy. I tipped him with a $2. I didn't have any cash, right? But I've been keeping this $2 bill in my wallet for like the last 2-3 months because I liked it. I thought it was good luck, kind of good luck.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I'm a decent person. I tipped the valet guy.
You're a good person.
I'm a good person. That's the little voice that's playing in my head. It's the director from the Ghost Whopper commercial.
It sounds like Cartman.
I still have the earpiece, by the way.
Tip him. Tip the guy.
Okay, so I gave him the $2 bill, and he's like, I really appreciate that. He's like, and then he showed me his wallet. He had a $2 bill in it.
No,
Oh, that's special.
That
So I jacked him.
$4.
I walked out with $4.
he kept the car though.
Yeah.
Because I ran away after.
So, yeah, I mean, anyway, Alexander Hamilton, back to that.
Yeah, hip hop.
The
It's
first
this amazing
hip-hop
thing. You have to go look it up.
I have to because I myself am a huge fan of hip hop. Was not aware of this. so-
Right. You have to see it.
He was
Now
not
hip
aware
hop
that
has
he was
made
a
it
big
into.
fan.
Yeah, I did not know that I was a fan of something.
Something, but I am.
I'm a fan, but I didn't
I'm
know
in a
it.
community.
Communities are interesting, man, because I feel like now that everyone has a group now for everyone.
Anything.
Like, for
Like a
anything.
Facebook group.
Anything.
Facebook group for
Right?
everything. There's
No. Are you talking about?
Crazy. I'm talking about like communities, man. Like that's a word I hear thrown a lot, like daily. Is like, oh yeah, we have our. If you come check out our community page, or oh, you should join our community. It's so interesting how people are being grouped in together.
this at the clinic?
nowadays. Yeah,
Okay.
this is at the clinic.
After they give you your meds.
All the walls are so soft.
Yeah. that was I just want to say back to the Burger King toys thing. So, they used to give like really good quality toys back in the day.
They were heavy duty.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Now I don't know like what they're made of. Tofu.
Horrible.
Beyond
Beyond
toys.
Beyond toys.
Wait, that is a fact though.
Right?
Such low quality
They're
toys.
horrible.
I don't
no
get it.
movement.
Even toys, just toys in general.
You should do on your show. You should
Yeah.
do. Tell everybody the name of your show because the
It's
people are
just
into
Dante
toys.
Jackson, but you can search for me under Don Trillius.
And it's a show where he basically goes into the world of toys, especially Pokemon.
Yeah, Pokemon.
But now you're
cards,
going out into more toys, right?
Yeah. Love toys, and the quality has dropped. It's like insane.
Yeah, what is that, bro?
Target, Toys R Us RP is closed,
Man.
but I heard
Are they
Toys R
gonna
Us
open it up?
is still open in Canada.
Oh, really?
So we got to go to Canada.
TR
I
Canada.
heard they were
Yeah.
gonna open
Toys
up
R
one
Us
store
Canada.
in L.A.
They
hope-
are thinking about making. I think they're opening
miss
one in
Toys
New
R
York.
Us.
Okay.
Wow.
I can't
Yeah.
believe they did that.
Man, I drive
It's
by
horrible.
one.
Yeah, but where
all
were
the
you all
time.
those years?
I know. I was always there.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, I was always.
Okay.
A
I still
supporter.
stop by, man. When they had
Always a
they had
supporter.
the Power Ranger foam heads. I don't know if
Yeah.
you remember that. Like
no,
the
they had a
Legacy
resurgence,
Saga. Yeah.
But even just the quality that they're made with is so cheap now. It's like sad. Like our toys were so bendable and movable.
They
Yep.
could move.
so
yeah.
much quality.
Yeah.
Sad, man.
It's like they're making them so we could just literally just buy them and then just drop them as many times as we want without, you know what I mean? There's no
Yeah.
craftsmanship.
Except
in
they
that.
do have lightsabers that like project now, which is pretty dope.
They do.
Yeah,
Like they pop out.
like it's flat and then you press a button and it's up.
And the
That's
LED
like our
comes out.
dream,
But
yeah.
what is what?
Yeah.
kind
No,
of
no, no.
light is
It's
that?
just plastic. There's no LED. They couldn't master that yet.
Oh yeah, of course not, because that's like
Unfortunately.
that means they have a laser.
Yeah.
now.
Hey, folding LED lightsabers. Hey.
Yeah, that'd be next
Somebody
level.
Did
made
you
that
ever
already.
see-
Somebody has.
You remember
one.
the Ali G show?
Yeah.
Oh,
my
respect. Are you
Respect,
kidding me?
right?
Talking about respect.
First of all,
man.
much respect to Sacha Baron Cohen because he is a spirit guide.
Killed it.
That's my spirit
Revolution,
animal. People
dude.
say, "What's your spirit animal?" I say Sacha Baron Cohen
Ali G.
because there's so much life force in that being, Sacha Baron Cohen, to do what he did, to have the kind of insightful, the balls that man has.
Mm-hmm.
He was just bursting at the seams because I don't even know what it takes for a person to hit up like your local like politician, city of commerce, city hall, whatever. And he would go in and interview these guys. And I didn't know they were real until I was a little bit older. I was
Same.
a little
Right.
young when it
Same.
came out. But I watched them when I'm older, and I'm like, are you kidding me?
He did that.
It's masterful.
Who
He
the
did
heck
that.
would
The way
do
he didn't
that?
break character.
Right?
Never,
Yeah.
never. It's so
Masterful.
powerful, and his message is so powerful.
Yeah, he created an art form with that.
Yeah,
Yeah, he did.
yeah.
Yeah, somebody sued him or something, right?
Oh, plenty of
really?
people
For
tried to sue
sure.
him.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I would
Of
come at his
course.
neck. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me, dude?
Yeah, of course
he
they
made
tried to sue
people
him.
look so funny, man.
But what was I saying that for? What's he talking about?
Well, we were talking about Sacha Baron Cohen.
But
He's
why
your
did I bring
spirit
Burger
animal.
King
Burger
toys?
King toys.
And then I
You
brought
watched the
into-
Ali G show?
Ali G,
Ali
right?
G.
Thank you. There we go. So on the Ali
Yo,
G
check
show,
it.
speaking of, he went in to pitch ideas to innovators or companies that would make things like, you know. So he went in there and he brought a skateboard without the wheels, and he's like, so here's my idea, and they're like, okay, what is the idea? He's like, you ever see Back to the Future? And they're like, yes. He's like, well, here it is. And he goes, those hoverboards? He goes, yep, here it is. He's like, that's a hoverboard? He goes, yep. He's like, let's see it work. He's like, oh, that's your job. And he's like, wait, this is not work? Is this skateboard without the wheels? He said, that's the point. He's like, so he took the wheels off the skateboard and he told him that. I
Oh
thought it
my
was
God.
so damn funny.
Hilarious.
Wow.
It's
great.
hilarious.
That guy was probably so upset that it wasn't real.
Yeah, he's like,
I was hoping
that's
this was
your
the
job.
day.
I love how you
That's
just
why I
brought
want
it
to
in.
work with. That's why I want to work with you. I'm more of the
why I
idea
brought-
man. That's good.
Wow. If you had to pick one futuristic item from Back to the Future, what would you take? For me, it would be the microwave
Shoes.
that you could put like those little
I was
cubes
thinking
in.
shoes.
and then,
The
like,
time
meal would
traveling
come out.
car.
You want the time traveling car? That's not from the future though. That's like, I mean, yeah,
The
that
sports
works.
almanac.
Oh,
you could
you
win a lot
remembered
of
that.
money
You
with
racked
that.
up, yeah. But
Frickin' Biff, dude.
what was
Yeah,
really
that's what I would
dope
take.
from that? I mean, the car that ran on trash. We need that. That was, you forgot about that, right?
That's so
Yeah,
true.
It
yeah,
ran
yeah,
on
yeah.
trash. He would put
That's a
trash
deep
in
cut.
it. Yeah.
Which car ran on trash?
The DeLorean.
Do you know they're making the new DeLorean?
Really?
No, like
Really?
they're taking
Oh,
the
like the
classic
actual
body.
car.
The actual car is being
That's cool.
re-released.
No.
So they're making a whole new fleet of them.
Is it gonna be electric? Should be.
It should be actually.
Tesla, where
yeah.
you
Tesla.
at?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Elon.
Maybe. But,
But definitely the hoverboard technology.
I want it though. I want that car.
Batmobile
Yeah, for
or
sure.
or DeLorean.
The DeLorean, because they're just kind of redoing the headlights, but they're keeping the basic same kind of design. It's stainless steel. I'd want one.
For sure.
I would
Depends on how
definitely-
much it is,
I'll
right?
take a Batmobile.
Ooh,
sure.
yeah, how much do they
I'll take a-
respect it? How much they respect the DeLorean?
I mean, you got to be pretty. I don't even know how big it is. Like I'm kind of big. Like I'm like a. I just feel like sometimes I feel like I'm like in so small cars. I just feel like I'm
Like a
Hulk
toy
Hogan.
car.
I'm like a
Didn't Shaq-
WWF
Didn't
wrestler
Shaq used to
inside
drive
there.
like a Z3 or something like that
Oh,
back
really?
in the day? Like a
Yeah.
I met
super shiny
I met
car.
Probably
Shaq
custom.
once.
No,
by the
the-
way,
Really?
do you know I met Shaq once?
How's that?
I met. How was it?
Yeah.
Well, I know what it feels like to feel like a baby. My hand felt like I was like 5 years old in his hand. I'm 6'3", like 220, so I'm not small.
Yeah.
You are small next to Shaq. you are
Baby.
you're like a Burger King toy. It was at a birthday party for I had a girlfriend in New York. She used to teach yoga to Alonzo Mourning.
Oh no
That's his
way!
name,
Yeah, he
Alonzo
used to play
Mourning.
for the Heat. Yeah.
Yeah. And I met him a few
Legend.
times because she was training him, and she kind of brought him back from he had like a liver transplant or kidney transplant or something,
Yeah.
and through yoga and stuff she brought him back. So anyway,
Did.
he was having a private birthday party at this club, and here I am, this looking like me and my girlfriend at the time, really petite, blonde, and we walk into this club. It's all brothers in there. And I was like, all right, cool. I felt at home. I grew up in the Bronx. I'm good. She was like out of place. We walk in, it's super dark. There is a looming shadow about 8 feet tall. It was Shaq. It literally looked like the Iron Giant in the dark. You just saw his eyes glowing. Yeah. And then I met Alonzo, who was really nice. There was like a feast. It was like the table was like 12 feet long, full of shrimp.
Scram.
Yeah, shrimp. I'm not kidding. It was full of like fried shrimp for 12 feet.
Damn.
I like
Wow.
that.
Sponsored by
Fried
Bubblegum
shrimp
Shrimp.
is special.
And he's like, "You want some shrimp?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"Sure."
You want
Then he's
some
like, "Oh,
shrimp?
let me introduce you to Shaq." And then he came over, and I was on the dance floor. It's tiny. It's a private party. There were not many people there. It was not crowded. It was literally like the way we are in this room right now. And
There's blood on the dance floor.
I was just my hand felt like a little kid. I became 5 years old again.
Whoa.
Like in terms of my size, you know.
Yeah.
How tall is Shaq?
He's like
7'1".
7'2", 7'3".
7'1"
Maybe 7'1.5", yeah.
But right, so I'm 6'3", so you go, he's only a foot
That's a
taller than
foot.
you. Yeah, but he's also
Nah.
4 feet wider than you too.
Yeah.
It is like he's bigger than a doorway.
Oh,
He's literally like the only person I ever met that was like bigger than that was like Hulk Hogan.
Ooh.
Because
not
I used to
tall
go to all the
Hulk Hogan's
WWF.
big
I used to
like
go
that,
to.
though?
I was at WWF.
We were at WWF.
I was
Oh, you were?
WWF.
You weren't
WWE. I was both.
It was WWF first, and when they changed it, we're like, what happened?
We're like, what? Yeah, that was
Yeah.
our generation. It changed.
Then the WWE.
Oh, really?
But
Okay.
yeah, we got the
'cause
WWF.
what was it? The World Wildlife Foundation.
Yeah, with the panda logo.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, you know what I think was WWF should have made the panda a wrestler.
That is funny.
The panda man, you know what I'm saying?
They just
Macho
collabed.
panda.
I'm gonna bamboo you.
I'll claw you to death.
The panda
I'll
is
hug you.
ready.
I'm cute but deadly. So, like, I saw Andre the Giant.
Oh man.
So I saw Andre the Giant in
Classic.
the 80s in Madison Square Garden in New York City. And he was fighting, like, I don't know, like he used to fight him versus 16 people. And I was like really in the front. I was towards the front. I think we were like 5th row. And they come out of the thing. And I remember like just touching his back. It was like touching you might as well touch an elephant's back. Or touch the side of like an 18-wheeler truck.
Right.
There's just no give. Like, you think he was fat? That fat was solid.
Mm.
That's solid fat.
It's a solid ass piece of fat.
Oh my God. You didn't mess with Andre.
He's like the only one that I know from that time. Though. Who else?
The
was
Iron
like,
Sheik, dude.
Iron Sheik. I've heard of
Oh,
him.
did you watch the documentary of the Iron Sheik?
It's on my to watch.
Oh, you
list,
gotta watch
man.
Like
I know
Macho
he was
Man?
a game.
You gotta
changer.
watch it.
Randy
Ooh,
Savage.
yeah.
Of course.
Who was the commissioner? He was a wrestler too.
What do you mean the commissioner? You mean that Vince
Like-
McMahon?
Yeah, Vince McMahon. Wasn't he a wrestler too?
McMahon.
Yeah, he wrestled for a little while.
Yeah.
He is like the perfect movie superhero villain.
He is.
He's
He's
always
a
a kid,
great
he's just always
villain.
giving me. Not that he's a bad guy, but he looks like he can play a villain.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he could.
Absolutely.
He could have been in Despicable Me or something like that.
Yeah.
Right? Or the other one, what's the one with the guys with the brain, like the evil, like scientist guy?
In what?
Not Despicable Me, but there was another movie like that.
Megamind?
That was it, Megamind.
That was
Thank you.
great.
Megamind.
Will Ferrell.
Yeah,
Mm.
Jeff Bezos. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. Oh.
That's awesome. But we should
Yeah.
talk all about WWF and all our stories in one episode, just dedicated to wrestling.
For sure.
I
Yeah.
could. It touched a lot of
We
my
were
life.
obsessed with wrestling.
They had great dolls.
Oh, the best.
Right?
Yeah, you could punch them and they
Yeah.
do you smell what the
Yeah.
Rock is cooking?
Yeah.
But who was your favorite wrestler?
Of all time?
Yeah,
We got to do 3. We can't do
Okay,
1.
Yeah,
Dude.
that's so hard.
All right,
All
let's
right,
go
I'll do
around.
mine.
And this will be the preview for the wrestling episode.
Okay.
Because I can't stop with
Cool.
just,
All right.
just kinda, I got to like get into
Yeah,
it.
same.
Yeah.
But let's just give our top 3 of all
Okay.
time.
The Rock has to be
Absolutely.
Rey Mysterio.
Ooh.
And
Wow.
it's hard because it's like I'm gonna say the Undertaker. That's my 3.
Yeah, you said Rey Mysterio.
Stone Cold Steve Austin is up there, but Undertaker, like the way he just his whole show, you know.
You know how
Yeah.
many soda cans I messed up
'Cause
because of Stone Cold Steve Austin, bro?
That's
Did
a
you
fact,
really?
bro.
No, bro, his signatures, like he just climbed to the top of the ring and
Right.
Yeah.
I swear,
You did
like,
that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. And I ruined
amazing.
cases of soda doing that.
Really?
I was addicted. Shirts, clothes, like that. Was,
Really?
yo, yeah, he's on.
You know who
that was a lot.
Sharif's favorite
Top
wrestler
3.
is?
Yeah, I mean, I'll go next since I kind of spilled the bag on
hear
it.
it.
Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and The Big Show.
Oh,
I used
Big
to love The Big
Show.
Show,
That's a
man.
good one.
He spanned across
Oh,
generations.
it's the Big Show.
I always wanted to
Is
be
that how
that
it
big,
You
yeah.
know.
I just wanted to be that big. I was like, dude, like no one's gonna mess with that guy. I'm like a little kid, like, oh, he's tough, he's mean.
Big Show.
All right, EJ.
Top 3.
Man, since you took Undertaker, I'm gonna say Kane. He's not number 1,
Oh,
but I'll go Kane,
Underrated.
Oh, wow.
the brother,
Kane.
super underrated.
Mhm.
I really liked. He wasn't in WWF. I think he
not good,
transitioned
just
sometime, but
wrestling.
Diamond Dallas Page. You guys remember the
DDP?
yes.
Oh,
DDP.
DDP.
Oh.
He was in the WCW.
Yes.
He was in WCW,
Oh.
but I loved him.
With
I loved
Sting?
and with Sting, all those guys, bro. Like I love that was like man. And then The Rock, of course, like
Got it.
just like The Rock, like he's a
Got it.
beast.
Yeah.
Damn.
What about you? I know you probably got some like.
Well, I'm a
really
little
good
old
picks.
school. Well, Hulk Hogan, number one of all time.
Yeah.
For me, it's
Oh,
gotta
Hulk
be
Hogan was
Hulk
great.
Hogan.
course.
Hulk Hogan was great.
Hulkamania,
I
run
understand,
all
brother.
from the mid '80s to like early '90s for that 10-year
He
period.
changed the game.
He changed the game
did.
of wrestling
He
forever.
did.
He,
Sure.
he just like moved me. He just got me crazy, you know. So I love Hulk Hogan. Much respect to him. Also a Leo, so I like him too.
Hey.
I just love Hulk Hogan. Now those next two, you know, because see, I get deep. I'm like, oh, as a human being, I like Andre the Giant, but I wasn't crazy about watching his matches, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I go, oh, but I love The Undertaker, but only the first 3 years. Because it got a little weird after 3 years. It was like, I don't know, he started talking. I was like, I don't want to talk.
Yeah, that was a big moment. I was
Oh,
like,
why is he talking? You're ruining the whole thing for me.
Yeah.
That was a huge moment. Yeah.
So Macho Man Randy Savage, I didn't like him, but I was I couldn't stop kicking
You
my
gotta
eyes off
respect
him, and I
it.
wanted to do that
Yeah.
voice all the time.
He was iconic.
He was iconic.
Iconic.
So I would say Hulk Hogan. I
Ric
really liked a
Flair?
guy he was called Bret the Hitman Hart.
Bret Hart.
Bret
yeah.
Hart.
Bret Hart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bret
Mhm.
Hart.
Wasn't he still around?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
Yeah.
He
So I love
survived.
Bret Hart.
OG.
And then there was another guy.
Ric
Who's-
Flair.
No, but you're being psychic right now because his name is Rick.
Ooh.
So Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. You
I've
ever
heard
of
that
him?
name
That one.
before.
Okay, so
I've
you should
heard
look
that
him
name
up.
before.
Yeah.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat was unbelievable technician. He was also a martial artist. He was jacked and all that stuff. And his feud was with Macho Man.
Mm.
He was just an incredible wrestler, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Did it ruin it for you when you found out that wrestling was fake
Bro,
for any of you?
Bro, it broke my heart.
Changed my life.
Because I believed it
What
was
do you mean?
real.
It was like when I found out Santa Claus wasn't
We
real.
thought wrestling was real.
I
We
thought that
they
was
were hitting
happening.
each other. We thought that when they
They
lost,
really had
actually
beef.
lost.
Yeah.
So
Wait,
when I'm
I don't
like
think
12
Riz
years
knew
old,
this. I don't
and my older
think
cousin's like, "Why do you like this? It's not real." I was like, "What are you talking?"
What do you mean not real?
Slow down. Riz didn't know, bro. What are y'all doing?
You mean it's fixed?
Dang, I gotta slow down.
I'm sorry. I know.
Let's just say it's a show.
That's exactly how
It's
I felt.
entertainment.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's
So sad.
entertainment.
It's all
I
right.
gotta take a break.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
know,
right.
I know.
We should probably just
I
cut.
Cut right here.
Cover.
All right. We're good.
Yeah,
All right.
that
We'll go do
crushed
this
my
next
world.
episode. How are we doing on time, Tyler?
Oh, you guys got like 18 minutes?
Oh, man.
sweet.
We're going to keep talking tonight.
So
So we could talk more about wrestling.
we
Yeah,
could.
I want-
Wrestling.
Right?
Wrestling.
Did you ever play the wrestling games? The WWE even? Did you?
Those were great. The video
Bro,
games on
yeah.
Nintendo.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
They were
Those were actually
great.
so fun.
I thought they were really great. Done well.
The best one was
Incredible,
on
bro.
Nintendo 64. I forget which one it was, but Nintendo 64 had the best wrestling game.
Can I ask you guys opinions
Yeah.
about certain wrestlers that might be a little bit way back?
Let's hear.
Let's
it.
take
What do you
it.
know about any of them?
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you know about Jake the Snake Roberts?
The name rings a bell.
I
Oh,
know
because
there's
you
this
don't know
name,
much.
but I
Okay,
don't
that's
know this guy.
interesting to me. He
Nope.
was really popular. There's a
Mhm.
documentary on Netflix called Jake the Snake. You should watch it. You know the Iron Sheik
Mm-hmm.
because
Oh,
it's the
yeah.
best Twitter account in the world.
Legend.
Legendary Twitter account. You ever read his tweets?
No.
I don't. I
Hold
haven't.
on. You
Yeah,
don't
put
know his
me on.
tweets?
No, I didn't even know he was alive during Twitter. That's crazy.
He's alive now.
No.
Dare you.
Are you wait? Hold up. He's still alive?
Yes.
Then I must have read like a false news report or something. You know how those get around.
Yeah.
I thought.
No,
he was
the
dead.
Iron
I'm
Sheik
sorry,
is
Sheik.
alive. I was about to say alive and well. I don't know. But he
Hopefully.
tweets. His tweets are the funniest tweets you've ever read in your life, especially if you know anything about the Iron Sheik and the way he talks. Now, the Iron Sheik was like a real wrestler in Iran, and he was the real deal. And so he somehow came to America. He was a bodyguard and all that kind of stuff, and he came here and ended up in professional wrestling. But people in wrestling, they all loved him. He was the most hated villain, especially at that time. Because he was like, oh, he's from a Middle Eastern country and he's Muslim and all that kind of stuff. And so, they, of course, like, gee, what has changed now? Anyway, but guess what? He was loved by all of those, like, quote unquote, all American, quote unquote, redneck wrestlers. You know, he was loved by them behind the scenes. And they also feared him. They said he could have kicked our asses because he was that devastating as an actual wrestler. They were all afraid of him. Him and Andre the Giant, everybody was afraid of them.
Wow.
Yeah. He once, like, there was like a football team that was, this college football team somehow was attacking this other wrestler whose name was Bruno Sammartino. They were all in the locker room. there was like 5 of them, and they started attacking a professional wrestler. They got into it with him. Iron Sheik gets out of the shower. He's totally naked in the shower. He sees this. He runs out of the shower totally naked and just completely annihilates these 5 guys.
Whoa.
That's how devastating he was. So he had this, like, it was all about honor
can
and
you even try to
respect. He
fight
was
someone
totally,
naked?
he totally fell into
You gotta be
drugs and
crazy.
alcohol.
That's my worst fear is like fighting
be
someone
crazy.
naked. Like, when
That's
you're
what
in
I
the
just
shower,
said.
Yeah.
And you hear a boom, you're just like, damn.
How do you even
I have
approach
to fight off
that?
a robber naked.
What do you think the robber's thinking? He was like, I can't hit him low because I might get a handful, but I can hit him high, but he's still wet. It might just slip.
It's like fighting a dolphin.
Yeah.
Do you like put extra soap on yourself at that point if you know there's a burglar?
Oh, I'm
God.
greased
That's
up.
slipped up.
Yeah, I'm greased up, bro.
So you know those guys. Okay, do you know Junkyard Dog?
Nope.
Wow.
Sounds familiar.
Okay, do you know Rocky Johnson?
That name rings a bell.
No.
I know.
You
I'm
should be
probably
ashamed of
mixing it
yourself.
up with Rocky.
Johnson is The Rock's dad.
Oh,
Bullshit.
yeah. I knew
Really?
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Be ashamed
Oh,
of
you might just
yourself.
have to.
I do feel a
I
little
just
So he was a
embarrassed.
big wrestler.
Yeah, he wasn't A-list,
Okay.
but he
Didn't know
was
that.
kind of up there. He was like B to A kind of. They did have the belt for a little while.
Wow.
It was Tony Atlas and Rocky Johnson were the tag team. Can't believe that just like came off the tip of my tongue. I have not said the words Tony Atlas and Rocky Johnson in like 30 years.
Yeah.
And it just slid off my tongue. Where does that
That's
come
crazy.
from?
Because that's how deep wrestling was for all of us.
Yeah,
That's why I
yeah.
crushed so hard when I
Nerddom
found
is a
out it
disease,
was.
yes,
yeah.
that runs
Yes.
deep.
And thank
That's
God there's
crazy,
no
though.
cure.
Like, it's so rare for somebody's son to do what they did and then surpass them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
you know?
bro, that's got to be like one of the
To
few
have your
times
son
that's
be
ever
the biggest
happened.
wrestlers ever.
In any field.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Right.
Crazy.
Exactly.
Crazy.
So anyway, so then there was him. Do you guys know the Road Warriors?
Mm-mm.
Warriors.
Wow.
Not me.
All these, but you know what's interesting? Some of these guys may have been renamed and were like the
They
old
just
timers.
rebranded.
Yeah.
Rebranded.
Yeah.
But you know, I dropped out. Okay, you know Ultimate Warrior?
Like the show?
Wow.
Talking about
Ultimate Warrior was a wrestler. He was.
Oh, no.
His name was
Oh.
the Ultimate Warrior. He was the most insane wrestler there ever was. He was on so much juice, so much steroids.
Yeah, they
He
all
was in a
were,
roid
though.
race, but no. But this guy was another next level.
Wow.
He ended up dying because of it.
Oh,
like
no, it's
he
not
was
funny.
Ultimate Warrior was a maniacal. He looked like he was in a heavy metal
Oh
band,
my
all 4
God,
guys
yeah,
in
he
one.
does.
like
He
was,
does.
you got a picture of him?
Oh, dude.
crazy.
I
Yeah.
think I've seen that, dude. I thought that was fake.
Oh my God, that's a lot of steroids.
No, Ultimate Warrior was insane.
Mm.
So you guys didn't know him. It's interesting. You only knew like the really like Andre and Hulk.
Yeah, those were the, and I also think those were some of the ones that kind of bled through to
Yeah.
like a little bit. But yeah, no, like you're definitely on the deep cuts though. Like that's really crazy because I've heard some of these in passing. I just don't really know.
Who do you think is the most underrated wrestlers in your like guys that you thought were like this guy's great? How come he's not a bigger star?
Booker T.
I was thinking the same one, bro.
Wait, no, Booker T gets
He
his
got some,
praise.
he had his
But he is
moments.
underrated.
He had his
He's
moments.
underrated.
Yeah.
He was in the what was it called? The one before WWF.
WCW.
He was in that. Yeah,
he was.
He's been in the
He
game
was.
for so long.
Yeah.
Minute.
Do you
And he
remember
only got, like, one belt.
Rikishi?
Yeah.
Who's that?
It's like a
Oh,
huge sumo
man.
wrestler guy who comes out dressed like a sumo wrestler, and his like
Dude.
main attack was he would sit on the guys' faces, right?
Yeah.
Or,
And like
Uh-huh.
rub it
Totally
in,
violate
like,
him.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
Yeah.
And the guys would be there just like, bro.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Yeah.
And my mom would come in like, "What are you guys watching?" Like, it's wrestling.
Somebody like threw up one time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
bro.
that's right.
Like their
That's
head
right.
would
Like-
disappear.
Oh, that is so
What was that one guy's
sick.
name with the long hair,
It was
the
sick.
beard? He always got bloody every time.
Not Triple H.
No.
Nah.
Shout out to Triple H.
I know he
Triple
was, he
H,
was
he
on
was
my
a
top.
G.
He was
Honorable
gonna be
mention,
on there.
honorable
You know
I
what I'm
remember
talking
that
about?
guy. That guy was badass.
Triple H was.
He
Yeah.
always wore
Honorable
plaid
mention.
shirts, would jump off ladders, always bloody.
Oh,
You know who I'm talking
I know
about.
who you're talking
All right, I don't
about.
know his name,
It's
but we put him up
bothering
on
me.
I know
screen.
Yeah,
who you're
whatever.
talking about. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
But Rey Mysterio was always incredible, the acrobatics
I was
and
so
stuff.
happy when you said that because I forgot about
He
him.
was
He was
underrated.
like,
Bro,
that was my
he was a
go-to in the
superhero
video.
because he wore a
was.
mask. We're like,
Yeah.
who is he?
He was.
We just got the internet. Like one of the first things I ever Googled was, who is Rey
Rey
Mysterio? Rey
Who is
Mysterio.
Mysterion? That's where they got that South Park
Yeah,
episode
yeah.
from.
Straight up.
But
Straight up.
have you guys seen the movie The Wrestler?
Oh man, yes I
The
did.
Wrestler.
I don't think
That
so.
just gives you a whole new level of reverence for all these guys.
Much respect.
Yeah.
Is it
To,
like a
um,
doc?
Movie.
Oh,
to
no, I mean like
Mickey
a
Rourke.
documentary.
Mickey
No,
Rourke.
it's a movie with Mickey Rourke.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw the trailer for that movie,
Mhm.
I forgot what movie I went to see, but that was the trailer, and they had said, and reintroducing Mickey Rourke. Now, Mickey Rourke in the 80s was like kind of like star for like 5-10 minutes and really the hottest thing. And then he dropped out because he had struggles with substances and all of that, and he kind of
Totally.
went south in his life. And then so it was kind of like in Hollywood, it was like a joke. Sadly, you know, you're making a joke out of somebody's, you know, downfall, which is ridiculous. But anyway, he was coming back, and we hadn't heard from him. And when I first saw the trailer, there was no dialogue. It just said reintroducing Mickey Rourke. Even I kind of felt like, really? Come on. Like, you're trying to make Mickey Rourke happen? You know, it's not going to happen.
It's kind of how people felt about like Robert Downey Jr.
They did, didn't they? Right. But then the trailer started, and there was like only like one line of dialogue where he's talking to his daughter, and he goes, "I'm just a piece of meat." Do you remember that? He was crying. Yeah. And the emotion of how he did it in that just 5 seconds got me. And the audience was silenced at the portrayal because it was so good. You have to see the rest.
Powerful movie.
It
so
is
good.
Powerful.
Yeah.
See, I love that. I love finding great stuff that I haven't seen.
So raw. You know, it reminded me of Logan, like how they show the dark side of being a
tell me
hero.
that. You serious?
Yeah, like when he's like pulling out his claws, it was the same thing. Like after the show, you saw how messed up he was. Like he could barely walk.
God.
It's incredible what those guys do, man. You kind of have to be on steroids.
Yeah, right.
No, you have to.
You kind of have
You
to.
can't have you cannot recover from the injuries without the help of those drugs, you know?
I feel like this is a whole other topic for another day, but
Sure.
I feel like hopefully one day steroids is fixed to where it's beneficial, doesn't harm
Right?
you.
Like HGH.
I have a theory that soon everyone will be on steroids. Women, men, it'll be,
Exactly.
but it'll be beneficial.
You
Probably
mean weight-
rename it because it's got such a.
It should be
a
called like Weight
drag
Gainer
through the mud.
8000.
Yeah. Beefcake.
I could do a whole episode on old school protein shakes.
Old
Did
school
that just come out of my
protein
mouth?
shakes?
I just said out loud, I could do a whole episode on old
Yo,
school
I
protein
was like,
shakes.
okay.
Whatever happened to
okay.
Slim Fast?
You know what's
though?
really funny?
Oh, trash,
Yeah,
bro.
exactly.
Such
What?
trash.
I was the only one on that.
What a scam.
They're good.
Slim
No, I
Fast,
remember
yeah.
those were in my house.
You're not supposed to have
They're
20 a
low-key
day, though.
delicious, though.
Yeah, I would drink them because
You
they
ever
look
put
like
20
chocolate milk.
Slim Fast in a blender with a banana and ice cream? It's great.
It's like an acid trip.
Yeah, for your stomach, it's an acid trip. You'll be seeing colors for sure, but
It's in the toilet.
it's in the toilet. But I do think that I want to just say something about The Wrestler.
Yeah.
Because when you watch that film, you actually get to see how hard it is behind the scenes and what happens to these guys. These guys are just unbelievable warriors in that ring, and to tour and to do it. Touring is hard if you're just like a public speaker.
Yeah.
Like I'm a public speaker. Like that's just hard to go stand in front of an audience. Okay, we're gonna beat the crap out of you
Every night.
every night
Seriously.
and scream as loud, and people will be screaming and throwing things at you.
Also, you don't have a say if whether you win or not.
Exactly. So these guys are unbelievable,
Yeah.
and
are.
To watch that film just gave me such a perspective on you know when I grew up, it was just such a show.
What it takes to be an entertainer in general, you know?
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
You get to see the other side.
And bring it every
Yeah.
night through physically.
Yeah.
Like I
Blood,
can't
sweat, and
imagine
tears.
taking a beating and then going on a flight. Like flying for me is already a workout. I get off, I'm sore.
Right.
I'm sitting for like
Right.
8 hours.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
Yeah, but see The Wrestler. It's
I gotta
it's
see
so
that.
powerful.
I definitely gotta
Is-
see that.
It just leaves you stunned. At the end, it just leaves you stunned.
It's crazy.
Yeah, they
Well,
didn't.
don't
They
spoil
did.
it.
They did not. I'm not gonna.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah, because I gotta see
performances.
that. I love just good things I haven't seen. I need more like that.
All right. Well, you got your homework. Well, next
Yeah, we
week we
should all
come
go
back and
read
get
the
your
Iron
review
Sheik's
next.
tweets.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I'm
Read
going
the
to
Iron
Twitter.
Sheik's tweets.
Yeah.
Go
Go watch The
I
Wrestler.
pull it up. It's
Yeah.
like, dearest mother, today's wrestling was quite hard. The
That's
man
awesome.
Rey Mysterio.
Oh man. All right. Cool. Next week.
Next week,
Dude,
baby.
All right, let's
don't
wrap
forget
it
to
up.
follow, like, subscribe,
Yeah.
and please comment if you guys have any subjects or anything you
Questions,
guys wanna
whatever.
bring
Yeah.
up. We'll happily, answer them.
Yeah.
For
Any
sure.
topics you want us to talk about in the game room? Thanks for joining us and being part of all of this. Peace out.
Peace.
Thank
Peace
you.
out.
Peace.